Welcome to Pilates for runners, and really I call it Pilates for everyone because my goal is to have everybody be able to do these exercises at different levels. So if you're new to Pilates, that's great. I think it's great as a way to establish engaging our little muscles in our tummy that just our bodies are pretty lazy. So in general, these guys don't want to work because they'll rely on our bigger muscles to do the job. So, I've been able to do this. I've been working with another mother runner. These ladies are great. I don't know. I know that I think I'm about as stir crazy as I can be. So I started running and I'm not a fast runner, so I started the Return to Running program. So if you're looking for something new to do, because this is just like going on and on and on, like you're doing Pilates, consider looking at their site. It's anothermotherrunner.com. They also have a lot of training programs, and it's a good supportive community. And they've got podcasts that, they've helped me out too. So big kudos to them. They've got 117,000 women, and it's a really good support network. I'm Lisa, and I'm the CEO of Nature's Gem CBD, and I'm also the founder of the Runner's Guide, and I have fibromyalgia, so I lost my health pretty bad. And I dropped to 115 pounds, lost my balance, lost all my cognitive functions, and I was sick for almost 2 years on the sofa and couldn't really do anything. And then my daughter got me into Pilates, and I didn't want to do it because with fibromyalgia, we just hurt. And so I'm thankful for that. And it was one of the few things I was able to do. And then I started to want to help other people get healthy and work into the core, and that's how I regained my balance and my muscle tone. So here I am today. So let's get started. I have, if you have availability to grab a towel or something, there's a few things that I want to talk about. When we're lying on the mat, we want to make sure that we're in alignment. So what I mean by that is when we're lying down, for me, you'll see that I hyperextend my neck. And I really need to make sure that, I'm supported that way. So if I put a towel under my head, and you see how my neck is more supported. So if you hyperextend into your neck, you might want to consider adding a towel underneath your neck for support. Also, too, if you have a spine that tends to lift up off the ground, rather than, we don't want to tilt pelvis up to get it in. That's not the gist of what we're trying to do. So instead, just take that towel and lie on there, and now you've got support underneath your lower back. Similarly, you have an issue with your upper part of your back. You can turn the towel that way, and again, you're getting some nice support. So I am going to fold my towel. I'm going to put it right underneath my head. I'm going to start my timer. Otherwise, I'll have you doing Pilates for like 2 hours. Kidding. I hope everybody's staying active and healthy. I know it's challenging. I really feel the moms, God love you. I am glad that my daughter is older. So hang in there is all I can say. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a couple light exercises right now. So I want you to lie down on the mat and bend your knees. And my feet are about a hip width apart. I want to make sure that I'm in alignment. My head is supported. And my hands are on the mat. And just take a nice deep breath in. And exhale it all the way out. Take another nice deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. And just when you think you've exhaled all your air, exhale more. So it's like I'm punching you in the stomach. And you should feel your navel go kind of down and up. Take another deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Let's just loosen up our back. So let's bring, I've got my knees together. I've got my feet together. I'm just gonna bring my knees into my chest. And again, I'm gonna take a nice deep breath in. My shoulders are relaxed, nice and down my back. I'm hugging my knees into my chest. Now I'm going to bring my feet back down. I'm going to bring my hands back down. I'm going to lift my right leg to tabletop, and then I'm going to lift my left leg to tabletop. I don't have my knees together. I have them about the width of my hips, and my feet are apart too. I'm going to put my hands on top of my knees, and I'm going to press my knee into my hands and my hands into my knees for the count of 5. And release. So I'm going to take a nice deep breath in, and as I exhale, I'm going to press my hands into the knees and the knees into the hands. So I'm not letting anything move. And release. Deep breath in, exhale, knees into the hands, hands into the knees, drawing that belly in and up. And we've got one more. Deep breath in, exhale. Now I'm going to move the hands to the inside of my thighs. So again, I'm going to keep my legs at tabletop. And this time, I'm going to take a deep breath in. And when I exhale, I'm going to press my hands against my knees and my knees against my hands. Again, nothing is moving. So I've got my core really engaged. Deep breath in, exhale, press, 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 and release. My shoulders are down the back. Inhale, press as we exhale all the air out. I'm not letting my legs move. Deep breath in, exhale. Another deep breath in, exhale. And we're pressing on the exhale and release. Now I'm going to move my hands to my outer thighs or my outer knees. I'm going to do the same thing. My abdomen is, my belly is in, down onto the mat. I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to press my hands into my knees and my knees into my hands. Deep breath in. Exhale, pressing against, hands against the knees, knees into the hand, and release. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pressing, 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 pressing. One more. Now my hands are going to go to the front of my knees. I've got my legs still at tabletop. My knees and my feet are still apart. Deep breath in. Shoulders are down the back. Exhale, I'm going to press my hands into my knees and my knees into my hands. And release. Deep breath in. Exhale, 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 and release. Deep breath in. Exhale, exhale. Last one, deep breath in. Exhaling all the way out. And now lower the hands, lower the legs. We're going to do some slight pelvic tilts. So I'm going to tilt my pelvis so that I'm tilting it up by my nose, but I'm keeping my seat onto the mat. So it's not really a huge range of motion. I'll just move my hands so you can see. And then I call it like, this is my 12 o'clock is up here and 6 o'clock is down there. So I'm going to tilt my pelvis to 12, and then I'm going to release it to 6. I'm going to tilt my pelvis to 12, and I'm going to release it to 6. As I'm tilting my pelvis to 12, I'm bringing my navel in and kind of up underneath my ribs, but I'm making sure that I'm not popping my ribs out. And then I'm reaching nice and long in my pelvis towards 6 o'clock. One more. I'm going to tilt up to 12. And then I'm going to reach long in my pelvis down to 6. With my hands on the side of the mat, I'm going to put mine to the out here so you can see. I'm just going to do a slight lifting my booty off the ground like a little elevator, and I'm about an inch off the ground. And then I'm going to lower it back down. So I'm using my hands as stability. I'm putting a lot of weight into my feet. I'm going to lift off the ground about an inch, and I'm going to lower it back down. Anchoring both feet into the mat. I'm going to lift off the ground just a little bit so you can see. Now I'm going to extend my right leg long out on the floor as my booty still is lifted. And I'm really standing long and hard into that left leg. And keep holding. Holding 5, 4, 3. Don't let those hips go down. 2, 1. Lower the leg and bring it back. And then lower the booty down. Other leg, we're going to lift it up. I'm not lifting far. I'm going to really anchor into my right leg. My right foot's on the mat. My hands are pressed in. My shoulders are down. And now I'm going to extend out my left leg. Trying not to wobble my hips. Holding, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing the foot back onto the mat and lowering back down. Adding on to the challenges, we're going to add on some stability challenge here. Only if you feel like you want to, otherwise keep doing just the leg going out with the hands on the mat. So I'm going to lift up off the mat just a little bit. I'm going to put a lot of weight into my left leg, and I'm going to extend my right leg out. As I'm extending my right leg out, I'm going to extend my opposite hand up to the ceiling. And I'm going to keep holding it. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot in, lower the hand, lower the booty. Other side, I'm going to lift up a little off the mat, anchoring hard into my right foot. I'm going to extend out my left foot. I'm going to raise my right arm up to the ceiling. I've got everything nice and tight right in there, right into my belly. It's still tight. I'm really pressing hard into my right leg. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot comes in, hand goes down, lower back down. We're going to keep adding on to this one. Otherwise, just keep doing wherever you feel comfortable. Elevator up brings the booty up. I've got everything nice and tight in my lower abdominal muscles. I'm going to stand hard into my left leg as I extend out my right leg. Trying not to wobble my hips. I'm going to extend my other arm up to the ceiling. And then I'm going to extend the same arm as my leg up to the ceiling. And you're going to hold it. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hands, lower the foot, lower the booty. Other side. Elevator up, booty comes up. And a lot of weight in my right leg, left leg goes out. I've really got my core nice and tight in between my button, my belly button and my pelvis. Opposite arm goes up to the ceiling. Same arm goes up to the ceiling and you're holding. Don't wobble those hips. Hold, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the arms, lower the foot, lower the booty. Woo!
Now we're gonna go up into the 100. If you have neck issues, then you can keep doing this exercise with your head down. To get into the 100 position, and this is gonna get our cardio going, we're gonna bring our legs back to tabletop. I'm gonna lift my head off the ground, and then I'm gonna draw a line down the ceiling, and I'm looking between my legs, and I'm gonna lift my arms. And now I'm gonna lift my legs up to the ceiling to where I'm at 90 degrees. And I'm gonna start to pump my arms. And as I'm pumping, I'm gonna inhale to the count of 5 and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. As a challenge, where you're comfortable, you can lower your legs. 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can keep lowering if you want. We just don't want to be getting into that lower back. So I'm lowering from my abdominal muscles. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm squeezing my thighs together. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the knees, lower the head, lower the feet. Getting ready for the roll up. You can extend your legs all the way out, or you can keep them bent, whatever is going to be easiest. So on the roll up, I'm just going to put my hands right now underneath my thighs. I'm going to lift my head, and I'm going to curl up, and I'm going to slowly walk up to a sitting position. I'm still rounded. And then I'm going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Keeping my pelvis nice and reaching long. You can keep doing it that way. An advanced version is my legs are together. I'm squeezing my thighs together. My feet are flexed. My arms are up onto the ceiling. I'm going to bring my arms back a little bit. Don't pop out your ribs. And as you come forward, you're lifting, 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 and I'm sliding my hands along a table. As I'm coming down, I'm going to come down nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Really reaching long with that pelvis. When you get to your shoulder blades, just kind of hold it. And then lower all the way down. Again, arms go back. Head comes up. We reach, we reach, we reach. Don't lift those shoulders to the ears, reaching long. And I'm going to reach my pelvis nice and long. Arms go back up to the ceiling. And I'm curling up. I'm exhaling as I slide my hands along the imaginary table. And I'm really thinking about pressing my pelvis bone down towards my feet, keeping it nice and long. Arms go back. Inhale, brings you up. Exhale, slides along the table. And we roll down, really bringing our belly button into our back, and we're going to roll up one more time. And then just sit up straight. I have to move my mat. I'm extending out my left leg. I'm going to grab, my right hand goes onto my ankle. My left hand is going to go right underneath my knee. I'm going to lift my left leg off the ground, and I'm going to curl down. And if this hurts your neck, go ahead and lower the head. Otherwise, we're going to stay like this for single leg stretch. I'm stretching big out of my left leg. I've got my right leg into my chest, and I'm going to switch and switch and switch. Make sure that your ribs are not popping out, and we want our shoulders nice and down our back. This is about getting a nice reach with that leg coming out of the hip. and stretch, switch, switch, switch. Last one, switch. Hands go, knees come into the chest. I'm still in my curl up position. If you need to, go ahead and lower the head, or we're gonna keep going with this one for double leg stretch. My hands and legs reach out long. I'm gonna swing my arms around. As I exhale, I bring my knees into the chest. I still have my booty, most of my booty onto the ground, so I don't wanna be rocked up like this. So extend out the arms and legs, really reaching long with those arms, circle, exhale comes in. Inhale goes out, around, exhale goes in. 2 more. Inhale up, exhale, bringing all the air out. Now we're going to move on to scissors, staying in this position. I'm going to extend out my left leg. My right leg goes up to the ceiling, and it's a nice hamstring stretch, so I'm going to do a pull, pull on my right leg, and then I'm going to switch. Pull, pull, 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 switch. If you want to really challenge those abs a little bit more, we just want to be on the tip of our shoulder blades. And so you'll see that it's going to be a little more work to stay engaged into your core. One more each side. Feet go to 90 degrees. Hands go behind the head. And we're going to do a lower and lift. So we're going to lower 2, 3, and the belly brings us back up to 90 degrees. Lower 2, 3, belly brings us up. Lower 2, 3, belly brings us up. 2 more, lower 2, 3, belly brings us up. Last one, lower 2, 3, belly brings us up. Bend the knees, give your knees a nice hug into the chest. And we're gonna get back into our position for side to side. My hands are gonna go underneath my head. So I've got my hands one on top of each other. I don't want to see my elbows like this. My elbows are going to reach nice and long. My belly button is into the back. I'm going to extend out my left leg. And all I'm going to do is lift my shoulder and twist up over to my opposite leg. So I'm not crunching up. All I'm doing is just lifting that shoulder blade up, and then I'm going to switch. So it's really a lift of the shoulder blades. The arms are reaching nice and wide, and switch. You should really be feeling this in the obliques, into your ribs, because the twist is coming from the belly button. And switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. 2 more each side. You guys look great. And switch. And switch, and switch. Hug those knees into the chest, whoo! And look to your right, look to your left. Bringing the knees or your feet down onto the mat. I'm going to extend my left leg out as I bring my right leg up to the ceiling. I've got my left foot is flexed. My right foot has a slight point. I'm reaching nice and long with my hands down towards my, reaching my fingers towards my toes. My chest is open nice and wide. We're going to do 1-leg circles. So I'm going to kick up a little bit over to the left shoulder, and I'm going to circle my leg around and stop. What we don't want to be doing on this exercise is we don't want to be wobbling our hips. This is about hip stability. So the size of the circle will depend on how much you can keep your hips stable. If you're wondering about that, then what you can do is put your hands onto your hips. And if you end up doing a really big circle and feeling your hips wobble, we don't want that. We want it nice and controlled. The movement is really coming from the lower belly. 2 more this way. And now we're going to reverse. Circle down and around and up. Circle down and around and up. Circle down and around and up. I'm really reaching long with my left leg, and my heel and my foot are anchored into the mat. Down and around and up. Down and around and up. 2 more. Down and around and up. Last one. And hug the knee into the chest. Bringing the foot onto the mat and slide it all the way down. Other leg comes in. We give it a nice, gentle pull. I've got my right leg really anchored into the mat. My right foot is flexed. My hands go to the mat. I'm going to extend my left foot up to the ceiling, and it's okay to have a bend, especially if you hyperextend, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to make that movement coming from behind the knee. So I'm going to lift up, and I'm going to kick around and stop. Again, everybody has a weaker side than the other. It's okay to figure out what is going to be that range of motion for the circle so that my hips don't wobble. So it's really all about control and stability. It forces the abdominal muscles to stay engaged. We want to make sure that our ribs aren't popped out. One more this way, and we're going to reverse. And reverse. Nice and anchored in. Make sure you're pressing in the floor with your opposite heel on the ground there. That'll give you stability. It's okay to make that circle small. 2 more. 1 more. Hug the knee into the chest. Put it onto the mat, slide it down to meet the other foot, and we're going to roll up for spine stretch forward. So you can roll up whatever way gets you up, whether you're walking up. I'm going to separate my feet the width of the mat. This is about coming out of your lower back. So we really want to sit up nice and tall. My feet are flexed. My hands are reaching forward, but they're plugged into my back. So right now, reach forward as far as you can, just with your spine straight, and then drop those shoulder blades down so that they're connected into your back. So I'm going to pinch up off my sits bones, which is like pinching up off my bottom. I'm going to curl my chin so I'm looking almost between my knees. I don't have my chin down onto my chest. And I'm going to reach forward, and as I reach forward, I'm going to exhale, exhale, exhale. And as I come up, I'm stacking 1 vertebrae at a time and coming right back up to straight and center. And I pinch up all my sits bones, take a nice deep breath in. And as I go forward, I'm going to exhale all my air out. Slowly stacking my vertebrae 1 at a time, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, pressing out, sitting back up, deep breath in, shoulder blades down the back, and I'm going to curl, and I'm going to slide my hands along the imaginary table. And I'm going to sit back up. 2 more. And we're going to sit back up. Each time that you're sliding along the table, you should start to feel that you're sliding further and further. So we're going to sit up and slide and slide and slide. Just another good breathing exercise, feeling a stretch in the hamstrings. Just hold it here for just a moment. Make sure that you relax those shoulder blades. Exhale, last little bit of air out, and sit back up. We're going to do some corkscrew. So my feet are going to come together. If you need to, go ahead and bend your knees, but then just roll back down onto the mat. I'm going to hug my knees into my chest. I'm gonna put my hands down onto the mat, and I'm gonna extend my legs to 90 degrees. Again, I don't wanna be this far up. I don't wanna see my booty come off. I want my tailbone onto the mat. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm just gonna swivel my legs down and around and stop at center. So I've got my thighs pressing together. I've got my ankles pressing together, and I'm gonna move my legs over to the left together in a circle and stop. I'm gonna bring them down and around the other way and stop. Down and around and stop. If you want to advance to this one, go ahead and bring your legs down, keeping everything engaged. Don't get into that back, and you can make that circle a little bit bigger. So I'm really thinking about pushing my thighs together. And down, reaching long, stop. Down, reaching long, and we come up. One more. And opposite way. And hug your knees into the chest. And then look left. Look right. And we're going to move on to the leg series. So we're going to come up onto one side. And I want everything in a nice straight line. And then I'm going to bring my feet out to about a 20-degree angle. So you can have your arm like this, where your head's supported. If it's more comfortable to do this, whatever works. For now, just take your hand and just press along your hip and just give that hip a nice stretch down. So I'm pressing my hand into my hip, getting a nice stretch. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. I'm going to stand long and hard into that bottom leg, and I'm going to lift my top leg to about hip height. I'm going to do a gentle point with my toe, and I'm going to kick it forward, and I'm going to kick it back. So if you need to, it's okay to move that leg, standing leg, out a little bit to give you that stability. We don't really want to be rocking back and forth. We don't want to be doing that. So that, again, will determine how far we're going to kick up. You also might be tight in your hamstring. That's okay. We just want to get that movement and that flexing into the foot, or into the hip, I mean. And forward, and back, and forward, and back, and lower it on top of the other leg. I'm going to rotate my thigh up towards the ceiling. So I'm really moving my whole femur. And I'm going to kick that foot up, point the toe. I'm going to flex the foot, and I'm going to reach long like I'm drawing a line with my heel down that wall. Pointing the toe brings it up. I'm going to flex the foot, drawing it, drawing it, drawing it. So I'm really reaching long out of that hip, getting that feeling that what we did before about pressing our hand on the hip. You can still do that if you want to just add a little more of a nice reach with that hip. Push, push, push. And reaching long. And we've got two more. And last one. Now we're going to do some little circles. So I'm going to lift my top leg, and it's like I'm drawing a little circle with my big toe. So my foot is, flexed, like I don't have my foot out like this. I have it parallel to the other foot. And the movement is coming from my lower abdominal muscle. So again, if you're struggling with feeling that, it's coming a lot from, my quad is definitely fired up, but this area right in here is really doing a lot of the movement. And stop, and let's reverse that circle. Don't forget to breathe. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. And lower the leg. Adding on to this, We're gonna do a bicycle. So I'm gonna bring my legs back. I'm going to lift my top leg. I'm gonna bend my knee up. I'm gonna bring it back, like my heel to my buttock. I'm gonna extend that leg out, and I'm gonna kick it forward. Bring it back, extend the leg out, kick it forward. Bend the knee, heel comes to the butt, extend the leg, bring it forward. One more, and then we're gonna reverse it. So the knee bends. Now I'm gonna kick it forward. I'm gonna extend it back, I'm gonna bend the knee, and I'm gonna bring it back. Kick it forward, bring it back, bend the knee, bring the knee forward, kick the foot out, bend it back, bend the knee, bring it forward. One more, bend it back, kick it forward, then just extend it out and bring it back and lower it onto the bottom leg. Leg goes up to the sky, and then I'm gonna bring my foot in front. I've got my right hand along the ankle, the leg is brought back, and I'm just gonna lift and lower the bottom leg. So I'm lifting and I'm lowering. I've got my foot flexed. I'm really reaching out long. The inner thigh is what's bringing that leg up. And hold it up, and now let's do some circles. Don't let the abdominal muscle go lax. And hold it and reverse the circle. 3, 4, 5, lower the leg. Lower the other leg on top of it and lie onto your stomach. I'm gonna put my hands together, and I'm gonna put my forehead on my hands. So I'm gonna keep talking to you guys this way, but I want your head onto the mat. And I just want you to lift your thighs off the ground, holding, and lower it back down. Belly's tucked up underneath. So I've really got my core engaged. I'm gonna lift my thighs off the mat, and I'm gonna lower it back down. One more, lifting the thighs, and lower back down. And now we're gonna roll on to the other side. I've got my feet are coming out at about a 20-degree angle. I'm reaching nice and long, and I'm standing with my foot flexed. Let me get rid of this. And I'm just gonna put my hand on my hip and just give my hip a nice, I'm pressing along my hip, giving it a nice stretch. Deep breath in, exhale it out. Deep breath in, and exhale, 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 drawing those ribs into your back. One more deep breath in, exhale, getting everything nice and engaged. I'm gonna lift the top foot to about hip height, and I'm just gonna kick it forward and gently bring it back. We don't wanna be rocking, so that's gonna determine how far you kick. If you only kick this far, that's okay. This is really just a nice way of loosening up the hips, the hamstring. Kick and back, kick and back, kick and back. Last one, and back and lower on top of the bottom foot. I'm gonna rotate my femur bone out, so I'm really gonna rotate that thigh up to the ceiling. I'm gonna point my foot and kick it up to the ceiling. I'm gonna flex my foot. I'm really reaching long out of that hip, drawing a line with my heel as I come down. We go up, flex, come back down. Point and bring it up, flex, and come back down. Point and bring it up, flex, come back down. Point and bring it up, flex, and come back down. Now we're gonna draw little circles. So I've got my foot just above my other foot and I'm drawing little circles. My belly is tight. My belly button is reaching towards my back. My ribs are engaged, they're not popped out. My shoulders nice and relaxed. Stop and let's reverse that circle. Good, you guys look good. And lower the foot down. You can either leave your feet, if it's stability for the bicycle, if it's easier for you to have your foot forward, that's fine. You can bring them back for a challenge. The bicycle, we're gonna bring our knee up. I'm gonna kick it forward. I'm gonna bring it back, heel to the seat, and come forward. So I'm kicking forward, bringing it back, heel to the seat, comes forward, kick forward, bring it back, really reaching long out of that hip. There we go. And come forward, kick. One more, and then we're gonna reverse it. So I'm gonna bring the knee back. I'm gonna kick it long. I'm gonna bring it leg forward, bend, heel to seat, reach, kick forward, bend, heel to seat, reach, kick forward, bend, heel to seat, reach, kick forward. Last one. Reach it long and lower it down. Both legs go back. I'm going to kick the top foot up, bend the knee, grabbing onto this ankle, and I'm going to lift the lower leg and lower, lift and lower. Lifting's coming from the inner thigh. Make sure that your shoulder is nice and relaxed. We don't want it up on the ear. Hold it up. Now let's do some circles. 1, 2, 3, circle down and around and up, down and around and up. Hold and let's reverse that circle. Down and around and up, down and around and up, down and around and up. 2 more. Great job. Lower the leg, lower the foot on. We're gonna move on to teaser. We're gonna break this up into a couple different ways to do teaser. So I'm gonna first sit up. I've got my feet and knees together. And just to get the feel of it, let's just put your hands down onto the side and extend one leg out. Now bring your hands underneath your thighs, your own thighs. And let's just walk down like you were doing a roll up, but extend, keeping that one leg extended. So I've got my right leg extended. And now I'm gonna lift my head and I'm gonna curl up with that leg extended. So you can keep doing it this way. If you wanna add on for a challenge, the arms go out in front. I'm gonna curl my pelvis and I'm gonna roll down one vertebrae at a time. As I do that, my arms go back, and then I'm gonna slowly curl up one vertebrae at a time back into the original position. So we're gonna curl back down, arms go back, lifting the head, we curl up. It's okay to just keep doing it this way when if you wanna walk up and down the leg. Now we're gonna reverse the foot. So other foot, if you want, you can walk down or you can use your hands. Either way, head curls and we come back up. We roll down, arms go back, and we curl back up. We got one more. And arms go up, and we sit up. Lower both legs. Extend them out. Just give yourself a round over your legs for a moment.
We're gonna add on to the teaser. So now I'm gonna bend my legs, bend my knees. I've got my knees together. I've got my feet together. I'm gonna extend out my right leg. My arms are out. I'm gonna extend out my left leg. Now I'm gonna lower the legs and lift. Everything's from the lower belly. If you need to bend your legs, that's okay. Whatever it takes. This is all to come in from the core. So you do not need to keep straight legs out. Bending those knees and bringing them in, it's all a factor of you're bringing them in through these core muscles. So 2 more, and lower the legs. Woo! You guys did great. Teasers were really, really, really hard. So I'm proud of you there. I want to now, let's do some saw. So we're gonna, my feet are gonna be the width. I'm gonna sit this way because it's gonna be easier to show you. My feet are the width of the mat. My arms are out to the side. First thing for doing the saw, my shoulders are nice and relaxed. I just want you to sit up nice and tall out of your lower back and just twist over to the left. And then come forward. So it's my waist is doing the twist. My shoulders are coming along for the ride. So I'm going to twist to the left and come forward. I'm going to twist to the right and come forward. This time as I twist to the left, I'm going to turn my hand like I'm doing a chop, and I'm going to reach. I'm going to turn my back hand the same way as my forward hand, and now I'm going to reach towards my pinky toe. As you're doing this, make sure that you're bringing the opposite hip back, which is this hip. And then we're going to sit up. Hands go back to the plane where palms are down. Untwist. Twist to the other side. Hands rotate sideways, and I'm going to reach to my toe as I bring the opposite hip back. So for me, I'm reaching towards my right toe, but I'm really focusing on bringing my left hip back. Then I'm going to sit up, palms down, back to center. One more each side. Chopping towards the pinky toe. And we're going to sit up, palms down to the ground, untwist, twist over to the other side, karate chop towards the toe. Make sure that you're really reaching back in the opposite hip. What tends to happen is that hip tends to go forward. So let's do it one more time. We're going to twist, karate chop. As I'm karate chopping, I'm really thinking about bringing that opposite hip back. So I am over my left leg and I'm really focusing on bringing my right hip back. And I'm really thinking about stretching my hand towards my pinky toe and my other hand towards the back wall. I'm going to sit up, untwist. One more. Now I'm going to reach. As I reach, I really bring back that opposite hip. Reach long with those hands. Reach, reach, reach. And sit up and untwist. Nice job. Let's go into the mermaid stretch. The mermaid stretch is really good for you guys. If you've seen me before, this is always my go-to to stretch out the hips. I've got my left leg perpendicular in front of my mat, up towards my thigh. I've got my other leg bent back. The goal is to try to get your hip to lie down and sit on the mat. If your hip is already doing that, the more that you extend, if I move this foot out, my hip is now going to come up off the mat a little bit more. And again, we just really want to get the hip to release. The more we get the hip to release, so your butt cheek is on the mat, the more those hips are open, the more that we're out of that lower back. So I've got my hand up by my ear, and I'm just going to reach over, Nice, everybody looks great. And come back to center. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. And I'm gonna lift up tall and I'm going to reach on over. Great. And come back to center. This time I'm gonna lift up, I'm gonna reach over. And as I come back to center, I bring my arms into a T. Shoulders are down our back. And I'm gently going to go to the other side and really reach that top hand towards the wall, giving it a nice stretch. My belly button is still into my back. And if you can, it's the obliques that bring you up. Hand goes down, arm goes up, and we reach to the other side. We come to a T. And we reach on over. Oh, nice stretch. And we come to the T. And let's do one more. Lifting up nice and tall, reaching over. Coming back to the T. Reach over to the other side. Come back to center, and let's switch legs. So I think if you've been with me before, this is my really, really tight side. We always tend to have a side tighter than the other. So I'm going to reach up nice and tall. I'm going to reach and I'm going to gently reach over and come back to center. Lifting nice and tall out of my ribs. I'm going to reach up like I'm drawing a line along the ceiling with my fingertips and come back to center. It's a nice bend into my ribs. And come back to center. This time, let's go to a T. Shoulders are down the back, and we're going to reach over to the other side. And we come back to center. Arm goes up, hand goes down, reaching up to the ceiling. I'm going to lean over to my left. I'm going to come back to center. Arms go to a T, shoulders are down the back. I'm going to reach over to the opposite wall, getting a nice stretch. And we come back to center, and we've got one more. And we're going to reach. And we come back to center, T, shoulders down the back, and we reach to the other side. And we come back to center. And now let's just do a child's pose. So let's get onto our hands and knees. You're still going to keep your belly engaged at a child's pose so we don't collapse onto the heels, but we just roll back. Sit, but I don't have my booty all the way onto my heels. And all I'm going to do is keep reaching my hands long, getting a nice stretch into my back. I still have everything nice and engaged. So it's working child's pose. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's walk back up into our hands and knees, and let's just do a cat stretch up. So I'm bringing my belly button, raising my shoulder blades up into the ceiling. And then I'm going to lift my head, bring my shoulder blades back down, stick my booty out like I'm lifting my heart to the wall in front of me. And I'm going to round back down. Lower back goes up, shoulder blades go back up. I'm going to flex my spine, my head comes up, I'm looking straight ahead, my shoulder blades are down my back. I'm going to come back to neutral, and again, I'm just going to sit back into a child's pose. Bringing my arms out to the side.
Keep holding it. Bring your arms just right around to your back if you can. Open up that chest. Keep holding that child's pose. I'm looking straight down at the mat. I'm going to release my hands, bring them back up onto the mat. And we're there. So I hope everybody had a really good workout. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at lisa@naturesgemcbd. I do want to let you guys know, we know that there's a lot of frontline workers, and so in our company we have a hand and face lotion that a little bit goes a long way, and we're doing a buy one get one free. And so if you hit naturesgemcbd.com, if you know anybody on the front line, their hands are raw, you know, they're always washing their face, their hands. It's a really good deal. It'll probably stock them up for a year. And anything we can do to help our frontline workers, if any of you are out there, I just want to say thank you. You know what, you're amazing. So you all have a great day. We will do something Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. It'll be a half hour. Go to the Another Mother Runner site. We will also post it onto our website too. And that one will just be a nice, I haven't figured out which format I want to do, but that'll be a quick 30-minute, just quick workout, getting everybody back into the core. And then I might be traveling home next Saturday, but if I'm not, I will post and we'll do something else. So also feedback, tell me if you want to work on something else. You know, we can do Pilates on a foam roller. Woo, that's a challenge. So you guys let me know if you need anything, and hope you have a great weekend. Thanks, everyone.